What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got something a little bit different. We're looking at the front loaders, the forklifts, the telehandlers, all that fun stuff, and we're doing a bit of a shootout today. We're going to see what lifts what the advantages of each one of these bad boys is, and yeah, we're going to compare them all. So without any further ado, guys, let's get to work. Pitter patter.
Klutch simulations.
All right, so we're going to start from the bottom and work our way up. The cheapest of the cheap, the little Manitou forklift here, the MC, what is it, 184, I believe it is, yeah. So this here, yeah, relatively simple, straightforward. All it has is a pallet forks on the front, nothing else. It will get the job done, I think, for most of the stuff we're going to be looking at. So we'll start, obviously, here. You're going to be able to pick up pallets, no problem. That's the one thing with this, though. You don't get an option to change out the forks. You can't put a bale spike on it. You can't put a bucket, obviously. Not that you really want to anyways. But you can pick up a surprisingly high amount of weight from what I've seen. Now, even if you can't put a bale spike on it, you can still pick up bales. And I think you can pick up quite a few bales. Okay, we can pick up 2, no problem. It's funny, the liquid fertilizer and liquid herbicide do tend up weighing quite a bit as well. So we'll keep on trying. We're going to move up the rank here. This won't be a problem, I'm sure, because I know I've done this before. Oops. Boom. Yeah, not a problem at all. Those back tires aren't even lifted up off the ground in the slightest. Awesome. Now, let's move up to the truck. Do you think it'll lift a truck? I don't know if I've tried lifting a truck with this before. I have a funny feeling that it probably would, but the forks, I think, are too small. Let's see, we'll angle that back a touch. Oh, no. Oh, will it lift? Yeah, it will lift a truck. Can I move it? Look at that. It'll lift that truck up. Now, this is probably not your best bet for lifting a truck, just because the angle, like I said, it's going to be a fight to get it up there, but it will lift it and you can move it. That's interesting. All right. Well, that's good to know. What about these bales? How many bales can we lift? Do we dare start with 6? Let's see if we can do 6 bales. So this little forklift, it does surprise me that the problem is, no, we're not going to be able to do 6. Nope, definitely not going to be able to do 6. I can see right now that we're starting to lift up off the ground. We'll back up, we'll try 4. Let's try 4. I know we can do 2. Alright, so you can lift 4, but you will not be able to lift 6. That's interesting. But like I said, no reach with this, so if you want to put this on top of something else, you've got to be right next to it. You can't reach up onto a shelf or anything like that. You have to be able to drive right up and place it on top of it. So, there we go. That's the baseline right there, guys. The Manitou forklift. I'm not going to bother with... Actually, you know what? We can test that just for curiosity. I'm not going to do 4. We'll do with 2 with these. Should be able to lift 2, I think, without issue. Oh, I can line it up properly. No, maybe not. Now, it might have been able to if I would have had it all the way in, but I wouldn't push it with this, that's for sure. Anyways, guys, you've kind of seen what we got for our baseline for the forklift. Let's move on to what do we got left? Little Bobcats, the New Holland Little Bobcats next. All right, so we got the New Holland 218. Now, this is a little out of its element. I know it's not really designed for this, but I do put this in the same category as the forklift, so I expect that it should be able to do somewhat similar work. Yeah, it can handle the seed bag, obviously. I mean, everything can handle the seed bag. That's not a huge surprise. All right, so we'll drop that again. Let's get this off right there. I think it'll let me have it. Come on, drop it off. Come on. There we go. Now, there is a versatility option with this, just simply because you have these bale forks that you can take off, obviously, and put on a bucket. And I think it's more suited for a bucket, let's be honest here. But, let's see, if I tilt this forward, we'll lift this. Perfect. Well, you know what? We can still lift a fair amount. Now we can get 2 bales without too much of an issue, it looks like, so that's good. Goes back down. Now, what about the fertilizer? Oh, just drop those. No, I didn't. Oh, that was close. Let's try the fertilizer with this little guy. I don't know. I feel like it was a little bit easier with the forklift to pick up the bales. Okay, lift this up. Oh, you know what? Oh, that's sketchy. Wheelie! Now, if you come into a hard stop, what's going to happen? Like, I can't even really stop that hard. This is about it, though. Like, you're not going to be able to put too much more weight than one of these. Now, this could... Oh, smokes. Whoa! I wouldn't want to put more than that on. You might be able to load, but even that, like, that's not great. So I wouldn't push yourself. That's about as much as you're going to get out of this thing. And I don't know if I can get it off my forks now. All right, well, we'll drop this off. There we go. Thank you. I'm not holding my breath for the truck. I don't think it's going to lift the truck. I don't think it's going to lift the truck. I don't think it's going to lift the truck. No, it doesn't. Of course not. So there you go. The forklift will outlift the 218, no question about it. But there is some versatility, obviously, and a little bit of speed, actually, too. Like, this thing can motor. It's very nimble, so that's where it makes up for it. Just don't expect it to lift quite as much. Anyways, let's move on to its older brother, bigger brother. The 232, I believe, is the next one there. And the truck variation, I'm hoping, will be able to handle a little bit more. Let's go take a quick look. Oh, and I can look how I can throw it how far. I can throw it super far. The 232, the tracked version, this thing looks pretty cool. And I've driven a few of these in real life. I do like the tracked version one. So I know it's going to carry. Let's move along. I'm not going to bother with the seed bag. I know it's going to pick that up. Let's try the double stack bales here. Oops, I just bumped into it. Yeah, see, like, there's no problem whatsoever with this. It's fairly stable, so that's not a problem. So right off the bat, we know we've got a little bit more capability here for lifting. Let's try that fertilizer. Yeah, like, I don't even have that on properly, and I can lift that no problem. So that's quite a difference right off the bat. I can lift that way up on top. Yep, no problems there whatsoever. So quite a difference just based on that. So that's a decent upgrade if you need something that can lift a bit. Now it's a little bit slower, I think. Come on, get off there. Now, what do you think? Will it pick up the truck? I don't know if it's going to pick up the truck. Come on, baby. All right, let's see. Can I pick a truck up? Oh, look at that. I can pick a truck up with this. Oh, maybe not so much. One more try, just for good luck. Okay, so if I keep it low, I might be able to... Well, you can pick a truck up, but barely. But I mean, that's a considerable difference compared to the wheeled version, right? The 218. Let's try... What do you think? So we've got, what, 2 bales? I think we can do 4. 4, I'm sure, would be maxing us out. I don't know what's heavier, 4 bales or the truck in the grand scheme of things, but this might give us a little bit of insight on this. And as far as I can, lift up. Well, you know what? I think 4 bales is lighter than the truck. So I can definitely pick those up. Let's see. I can drive. Oh, barely. Yeah, it's about the same. You know what? 4 bales, I bet you, is pretty much equal to the weight of the truck. Just in case you were wondering. I'm not going to bother with the 6 bales because I don't think that I'll be able to pick those up. There's pretty much no way. So we'll move along down the line. So as you can tell, obviously, this one here, the New Holland 232, as far as the forklift style, or I don't even know what you want to call this, the Bobcat style vehicle, is definitely the winner. And I mean, that's to be expected. It's the most expensive of the group, but it does the most work as well. So let's move on down to the telehandlers now and see what we can find. So next up, we've got the telehandlers. Now, I know in the menu, the Kramer is considered a, front loader. I don't really agree with it. I think it's a telehandler in my book. I don't see the difference between, for instance, the 533 Manitou and the Kramer. I mean, these are identical to me. I don't know what the classifications are, but the setup looks pretty much the same. A front loader, okay, whatever. I'm putting in the telehandler for the purpose of this. And then we've obviously got the Massey Ferguson, and we got the other Manitou, the big one, the 737. So the 533 over there, and the 737 here. Now, the big difference between all of these is the reach to me. Now, if you look here, these are all lined up nice and straight for the most part down the line. But the distance these forks reach out is somewhat considerable. I mean, it's not a huge amount when you get down between the Massey Ferguson and the Manitou, but the Manitou definitely does reach, I don't know, what would that be, maybe a foot, give or take. But if you go all the way down to the Kramer here, it is quite considerable. Now this one here is actually at a pretty big disadvantage as far as that goes, but let's go take a look and see what this Kramer can handle. Dun, dun, dun. So I'm going to bypass the seed bag because I know once again that this Kramer can handle it. Now obviously the weight difference is going to change depending on how far out we have this boom arm, and that goes for all the telehandlers. So we'll start with the boom arm all the way in, and as we test we will move the boom arm all the way out and see what happens. Alright, in we go. Boom. Lifty lift. Alright, so we got 2 bales. Well, that's a good start, but I mean I should hope we could hold 2 bales. And it goes all the way out. No problems, really, I don't think. Awesome. Alright, and we can drive fairly easily without dumping everything, which I don't want to drop it, so we'll put it there. Alright, so that's good. Let's move on to the fertilizer, which is next. I'm assuming it should be able to handle the fertilizer fairly easily. I think, right? Oops. If I could steer, that would be even better. Boom. Come on. Okay, no problem with it in. Let's slide that all the way out. Once again, does what it needs to do. I can lift it up, I can drive. Perfect. So that's what I would expect this to be able to do. That everything in this category should have zero problem with any of this stuff. So we'll probably bypass those from this point on. Alright, let's move up to the pickup truck. Now, I don't know if, once again, if the forks are going to be enough. We'll find out. So, big thing with the truck, you got to make sure you're lined up perfectly, and it doesn't take into account the engines in the front on anything, unfortunately. So your weight balance is always right in the middle. It doesn't matter that actually you would want it right behind those front wheels in order to pick these up, just so you're aware. Not that I've put any trucks on roofs or anything in my lifetime, but maybe I have. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. Come on. Come on. Yeah, I cannot get a balance point on these forks. I don't think I'm going to be able to pick this up. So this thing, if you're wanting to know, anyone's interested on using this to pick up a truck and put it on a roof, I would go to something else. It does not want to grab it. Nope. Okay. Messed around enough with that. Let's go up to the 4 bales. Now we know that 4 bales is pretty much equivalent to the weight of a truck anyways, so as far as weight goes, this should tell us. Let's see. Will she lift? That is the question. Will it lift? You ever watch that show, Will It Blend? That's kind of what I think of half the time when I'm doing this. Alright, so we've got 4. It handled it relatively easily. Okay, now let's extend. Oh boy. Alright, well, we've hit our weight limit. Okay, bring this back in. I can lower this out without dumping it everywhere. Alright, well, that answers that question. So we cannot extend with 4. Interesting, okay. Now, just out of curiosity, I want to see if I can lift 6 fully loaded. Whoa. And I'll have to reset that. So I'll reset these and we'll see if we can load 6. Alright, bales are reset. Let's see, can we pick up 6 with the telehandler fully retracted on this one? Let's see. Looks pretty close. Alright, moment of truth. Lift. 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 Nope. That answers that question. So, Kramer will not lift 6. It'll lift 4, but don't expect to push out the tele arm at all. Well, you can get about halfway, I guess, but I wouldn't want to go more than that, that's for sure. Anyways, that's going to do it for the Kramer. Let's move on up to the Manitou. Alright, so the Manitou, the 533, this is technically the smallest telehandler. It's a little bit bigger than the Kramer, but the Kramer isn't considered a telehandler in game, but anyways, you know what I mean. Already complained about that. This here, I'm sure can handle all this. Perfect. Yeah, no problems whatsoever. We're fully extended. Oh, look at that, though. You can kind of get those tires to bounce a little bit with that, but not much. Alright, now, what about the truck? What about the truck? Can we get the truck up in the air with this one? Now the forks are a little bit longer. Like I said, that's one of the differences between this one and the Kramer. It has a different fork setup since the Kramer is considered a, what is it, front loader, and the Manitou is considered a telehandler officially, so the accessories that go along with these are technically different. Now it picks up the truck without too much of an issue. What about if we extend? How far can we go? Dun, dun, dun. How far? Oh, look at that, all the way. I can lift. I can drive now. This is the problem you're going to find. So I'm trying to drive forward right now, and it looks like I'm actually going to go in reverse. If I go nice and slow, it's fine. Let's see if I can go backwards. Okay, no, it's alright. It does tend to struggle with driving forward a little bit. If you go too slow, it just does this little spin thing. There you go. Anyways, but I can lift up the truck, so that answers that question. Alright, next up, let's lower this in. Can we do 6 bales? 6 bales, 6 bales. Whoa. Did I get it? I don't think I got it. I missed. Let's try that again. There we go. No, I got it. Okay, 6 bales. Up we go. Come on. Alright, so we've got 6 bales. Not too much of a problem. And I can drive. Now let's try and extend out. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, look at that. I can hold 6 bales. Wheels are on the ground. Alright, and I can steer, I can drive. Oh, but I'm trying to go forward. It struggles. Look at that. I'm going forward right now. I can get it to work, but you gotta fight and be gentle with it. Anyways. Alright, so it does the 6. Alright, let's see what we can do with the pesticides. I don't know what we'll do there. Should we go right to 4? I think we'll go right to the 4 and see if I can do 4 pesticides. Will it lift? Will it lift? Usually helps if I have the forks at the right spot. Come on. This is not looking promising. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see what happens. Up we go. Oh yes, it can lift 4 pesticides. But look at this. I am struggling to drive with it fully retracted. Okay, let's see. Now can I extend out? Dun, 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 dun. No. Oh, there you go. I get it about a third of the way out, and I lost it. Anyways, that answers our question for the Manitou. The 533. Let's move on. Let's move up the line to the Massey Ferguson next. Alright, so we saw how the Manitou, the small Manitou did. Let's see how this Massey Ferguson does. Now, I'm assuming it's going to be very similar. Now, the big thing with... Oh, wow, look at how... I can just kind of throw this truck around with this thing. That's awesome. Is where the big thing with these is where the pivot point is. You see it's at the very back instead of at the front. So in theory, I should actually... Oh, yes. Oh, you know what? I can still lift, no problem. It handles a lot better. Like I can drive without having to worry about slipping and causing issues. And I still have a little bit better control too, which is kind of nice. But yeah, just because where the pivot point is for that arm is at a bit of a different location, that actually makes things a little bit easier, I think. And it should be able to handle more weight, just simply based on that. And that goes with this, the Massey Ferguson, as well as the larger Manitou, the 737, I believe it is. Alright, up we go. Come on, nice and easy. Let's not drop these. Alright, no problem there. Fully extend. Perfect. Boom. And let's drive. Once again, no issues. I can drive nice and slow, controlled. I'm getting no tire slip. That's awesome. Alright, drop these back down. Now let's go with the herbicide. Now we saw the herbicide was giving us a little bit of grief with the Manitou. Oh. We couldn't extend 4 of them, right? We can only get with the 2. So let's see what this one does. Come all the way down. Push it all the way in here, hopefully. Come on. There we go. Close enough. Let's see. Tilt that back. Let's get these kind of squared up here a little bit better. Don't really like the way they're sitting yet. Hang on one sec. Put this back down. Trying to get these pallets on sometimes can be a bit of a fight. There we go. Close enough. Just kind of slid on there. There we go. Okay, so 4 pallets. Once again, not an issue. I'm going to need to reset this. All right, let me reset. All right, so we're reset. Kind of close enough. Let's see what happens when we extend this fully out. Let me just straighten this a little bit. There we go. I don't think this is going to be able to handle it, so we'll go nice and easy. So I think that's about the Manitou's length right there, the 350 or 533. Let's keep on going. Oh, and we're going to lose it there. That's as far as we can get. So how much more do we have on this? Oh, so it's about... wow, only about half. We're only getting about a half extension before she gives up. Alright. Half extension. Well, we'll see how the Massey Ferguson does if I can get this thing out of here. Alright, I'm right back. Alright, on to the larger Manitou, the 737. Now, I should mention there's about a $30,000 difference between the small Manitou, the 533, to the large one. Both the Massey and the Manitou are almost the same price. So I'm expecting that this is going to have the same capabilities as that Massey. There's no reason why it shouldn't. I'm not going to bother trying with the truck. I know it can lift the truck. 6 bales, I shouldn't have any issues with this, and the Massey was able to extend fully. Now, the question is, the Manitou does have longer reach than that Massey by about a foot, right? So let's see what happens here. Let's watch those back wheels as they extend out. See what happens. It should be able to do 6, I'm sure. Right? Yeah, and a wheel slip? No, it seems to be okay. Oh, I don't know. A little bit of wheel slip on those back wheels. Yeah, definitely a little bit. So, oh boy. Wow. All right, well, that extra foot, I think, is what's causing us our issue there. So, there you go. I don't know if it's just the extra foot, but it was like right at the very end there that all of a sudden we lost control of that. So I'm assuming that actually these 4 are going to be the exact same boat. We're only get about halfway, and we'll see what happens. Come on, I missed. Didn't miss that time. Alright, nailed it. Up we go. Alright, let's try to extend. Okay, that's about, what, maybe a third there? Oh, and half again. I think that's about half. I don't know. That's where she went down. Let's take a look. I'll extend fully and we'll see. Like, this one is such a long boom. I don't even think that was half. It would have been half, give or take. That's crazy. Okay. So I would say the capabilities are pretty much identical. As far as weight goes, oops, that's okay. Look at that. Try to do that again. Out of curiosity, can you lift a semi-truck with the telehandler? Will it lift this at all? Boom. You know what? I need to get over here a touch further, I think. Come on. No, not even close. Worth a shot. Alright, well, so we figured this out. Obviously this Manitou and the Massey are the more powerful of the telehandlers, but not by a whole heck of a lot. In the grand scheme of things, I think it's a bit of a wash between the two. If you need that extra foot of length from the telehandler, then go with the Manitou. Otherwise, just go for the cheaper Massey, really. And if you're not too worried about the weight, then go down to the small Manitou. I wouldn't even worry about the Kramer, to be honest, but that's just me. Let's move on and let's go up to the wheel loaders. All right, let's move on to the big boys. Let's start with the JCB. I know it's actually a couple $1,000s more expensive, but it's actually less horsepower than the New Holland, I believe. Let's actually double check that. I think it is. JCB 230 to 234, barely. Okay, 4 horsepower less. Let's try the JCB first. Now, I'm assuming this is going to be able to do everything. Now, obviously, it's not really designed for this, but, you know, whatever. You guys get the point. So we can't really test it with anything else, so this is how we're going to do it. Come on, get in there. You know what? I bet you. Let's see. Now, the problem is, okay, so we can pick this up at whatever. Not a problem. Like 0 wheel slip, of course, but with these, you got no way of extending. So what you see is, well, what you get. Yeah, no problem whatsoever. I could drive with all 4 of these. I wonder if I could put another 2 on top just for fun. but that's fine. We'll start with those. Whoops. All right, get off my truck. Come on. Is it stuck on there? It's totally stuck on here. That's awesome. All right, well, let's. I'll get this off, and then let's go lift the truck. Come on, it's gonna come off. I'll just do a donut. There we go. Let's see. Will it lift the what is this one here? This is the smallest one. I can never remember it. I've been driving the Kenny too much. The actual branded one. The Hulk I know is the bigger one. Whatever this one is. It's the smallest of the small. Smallest of the big. That'd make more sense, wouldn't it? All right. Not quite lined up. Let's see if I can pick this thing up. I think that's about where I want to be. It doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to pick this up. Yeah, that's a negative, Ghost Rider. Wow, no luck. All right, well, JCB does not pick up the truck, not even close. So it does pick up all 4 of those without any kind of a problem. But no luck with the truck. So let me try with, you know what, let's just go ahead. I'm gonna assume that this New Holland does pick up all 4 without issue. There's no reason. I don't want to add 2. Let's just, for the sake of trying, let's see, will it pick up the truck? I get it lined up first, of course. You know what, the New Holland does look pretty cool too. I don't know, there's something about this, the way this tractor's designed, this tractor, this wheel loader, that, yeah, I do appreciate. All right, moment of truth. Oh, yes, it does. Yes, look at this. Oh, yeah, baby. You can pick up a semi-truck with a New Holland. So that definitively answers that question. If you're looking for something with the most weight to pick up, pick the New Holland. No, it's not great, but whatever. Oh, darn. Anyways, I hope that answers some questions, guys. I know it wasn't exactly the most scientific thing, and really, I don't know how much you're going to need to use any of this information, but if you enjoyed this video, found it entertaining, give me a like. I appreciate that. And of course, don't forget to subscribe if you have not already done so. Anyways, guys, as always, this is Klutch. Over and out.